or I guess how long is it reasonable to try and pursue a career in esports, do you think? Because surely you get to a point and it's like, hey, maybe I've, seriously got to consider something else. But, I think maybe you've seen that image before. It's like the miner digging for gold, and it's like he's like this close towards getting it, and then he turns around. So it's like, is there sort of things we can base our experience on that sort of has a generalized prediction towards maybe that we can create a career out of this? Or is it going to be sort of like I just can't do it?
I mean, I think it's impossible to say, because I think anyone could break through. Like, there's endless of good examples of people who I thought would never become anything in Rocket League, and the next day they're one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think there is a limit. I think it's a very like personal, individual thing. How far you're willing to go to really dive into this.
Yeah.
And for me, after I really wanted to be a professional in league. I was like, okay, there's age restrictions. Okay, so I can't do that, or I have to wait 3 years or 4 years, however long it was back then. Then I went into CS, and I was like, okay, there was probably more of like a skill issue. I was just like, I hadn't put enough time into it, and was I really willing to put that much time into it compared to what other people are willing to? And with Rocket League, it obviously just happened because it was a new game, but I don't think there is like I think it is an individual thing whether you're willing to put in the time and effort, but there's obviously also a talent aspect to it. And that's what I was trying to get at, is that I think in League of Legends I definitely had the talent, but I wasn't willing to put in the time. And in CS I probably didn't have the talent, but I was a bit more willing to put in the time at that point. So there's like two different aspects to it. And like some people would argue that like talent and the time that you spend in it, you can work really hard and you can, you don't have to be talented at something. But I would say that like once you get to the top level of anything, like there has to be a certain level of talent. You can't just take anyone and give them 10,000 hours in Rocket League and they'll become as good as, Astro are. That's not a thing. So it really depends on the individual. Like, do you think you have the talent to do it, and are you willing to put in the time for it? Like that's really what it comes down to in my books. And then it might not even work out because it's such a small percentile of players that is actually able to compete at this level.
Exactly.
So it's really hard to tell, man. Like I don't think there is any good way to predict if someone is going to become good, because Astro is actually a really good example. Like I remember when Astro came up, it was like towards the end of my playing career. And we ran into this guy in ranked. Like I was still playing a bit, and this was before I transitioned into coaching. And when I met him in ranked, I was just like, wow, this guy is an idiot. Like he's just ball chasing. Like holy moly, this guy will never become anything. He has no brain. He doesn't understand the game whatsoever. Boom. Like 6 months later, I was on Dignitas as a coach, basically telling my players, this guy is the best in the world. Like he will become the best in the world. Like please, So from it switches so quickly. But yeah, my answer is basically just I have no idea. If there's no way to predict it.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of effort and talent, really.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting thing because I sort of think about it. You look at Rocket League and you look at sort of, it's a widespread topic, right? The terms of sort of entry level. And you sort of look at Rocket League where we have pro players that are 15, 16, 17. And then you look at Counter-Strike where pro players are 25, 26, 27. There's a large age discrepancy. So is it a matter of, what I guess when we get to a certain age in Rocket League, is that when we can hang up the sticks? Because obviously it's proven in terms of, cognitive fatigue and all these extra things.